Well, so we're over here, we're kind of looking in this dark, scary corner of the Hallicrafter. And one of the things that Hallicrafters are kind of known for, at least I think they are, that's my opinion, is they always have bad caps in the audio section. Yeah, I know, it's a small space and there's not a lot here. Let's see here. So this is a power amp here. It's push-pull. This is what's called a phase splitter. So the audio signal comes in and gets put, so it makes two reproductions of whatever the wave is. We'll just call it a sine wave here. So one is positive going and then there's negative going at that time. So it drives these two power output tubes and they work as a team to tug back and forth. So there's a cap coupled from here, the plate, to the grid. In here, there's some extra stuff here from the plate to the grid. So if this cap is leaky, it puts a positive voltage on there. Well, that's bad. That's biasing the tube the wrong way. So it leaks, it biases the tube on, and the tube draws a lot of current and runs hot. And I noticed when just fiddling around with this radio, the little bit I did, that it draws, or it seems to run a little warm. One tube does. So I'm going to check here and here. It ought to be 0, and I bet I find a few volts there. So this one was about 4, which is even worse. So one way we can find out what's really going on here is yank the tube out of the socket. Yeah, I picked a really great day. It's a nice day out, but it's a little windy and it's blowing my stuff around on the table. Okay, let's see here. So we're just... Oh, yep, the radio's come up. That's one of the bad things about having these long leads. A little heat shrink over that. And there's a little battle scar there. So I went from that high voltage to ground. Let's see if it's still, yeah, it's still there. And the power supply has jumped up a little bit because we took the two output tubes back. You know, the 4th of July wasn't too long ago. These things happen. That's all there is to it. Unless you want to hook your meter, turn the radio off, hook your meter up, turn it back on. You can do that, but boy, it takes a long time. These are just some of the perils of working on radios. And anybody that says that they've never done that is either a big damn liar or they don't work on old radios. So we gotta replace these caps. This one won't be too bad. I can hopefully remove this transformer and to get to it. This one is buried down underneath all this junk. And I guess I'm going to have to take a couple leads up, maybe there are 2 resistors here and there's something here. So this is kind of like pickup sticks. You got to plan a few moves ahead, and this would be a good time to check these 2 resistors. If they were horribly out of tolerance, you want to replace them anyway. What is this? Oh, it's a meter beeping. Okay, I thought it was the camera. Sorry. Yeah, shut up, you. So if you're going to do this work anyway, you would want to, and you want to tear these out to get to there, you want to replace them. You don't want to put the shitty ones back in there. Yeah, I said that. That's just the way it is. This video is made for children anyway, unless you're acting like a child. Okay, so we need to figure this out. A little studying and a nice iced tea later, we'll have this straightened out. Okay, so we took this transformer down. That was a real thrill. It's going to be a thrill to put it back too. One of the things I'm doing is, this is a kind of a mystery wire. I don't know what this is. It goes and it's shielded, and it was soldered to this bundle here, and I honestly don't know where it goes. It goes deep inside. It looks like it goes into the hang on a second. What the goes into the audio section here. I don't know why. It's probably like a line level drive or something, I don't know. Anyway, it's not factory, I'm getting rid of it. Well, I'll give somebody credit, they did do whatever that did. It was hooked to pin 5 of one of the 6L6s. It's a grid drive. I guess I could have left it. Screw it, you know. So I cut it loose here. I cut it about this far, or farther, what is that, like 3 inches? And I carefully grabbed this in and heated it. But I give them credit, they put a little piece of heat shrink, which is kind of interesting. So this is somewhat of a modern modification. It's probably be a drive for an external drive for another power amp or something. I don't know, but they put that piece of heat shrink on there to keep it from short. Now this is just a piece of like coax, some kind of coax. So all I had to do was just heat that in very carefully in here, and it just popped right out, which tells me it wasn't in there terribly well. So this cap, I replaced this one. This one wasn't too bad, and you may or may not have seen me do this before. You wind a little pigtail on a mandrel, like a cutoff screwdriver or something, and then you trim back the cap, the old cap. You trim it back against the body, so it leaves a little tail. Then you slide that pigtail on there, and it makes a pretty damn springy, that's no pun intended, splice. You can dig that all out of there if you want, but I've gotten older and lazier. And this is fine. I've done this in a number of radios, works just fine. It beats the where you clip it and make a little pair of J's and then squeeze it together, and it's just, I don't know, that's my rationalization. It's a cheap rationalization. Try and go a week without one. So now comes this is gonna be a bitch. So there's a cap buried under all this junk, and the first thing I got to do is figure out how to get that damn thing out of there. I don't know which end I can push it out of. I need to put you down for this. That wasn't any fun. It was a pain in the ass. So I clipped it up here and down here and pulled it out this way. So now I've got to figure out how to get the new one back in there. I think what I'm going to do is, I'm not even going to try and put it back under all that junk. I might try and put it over the top. I need to doodle around, see what's going on here. Okay, so I kind of swung the thing off to the side here. It's not too bad. The nice thing about this kind of repair is if you got to get in there and do something later, which is a good chance, you're in here and you're bumping all this wiring around, and it's just asking for a kick in the teeth. You can just heat that and pull that wire straight off. So it's not like you've got to undo it or unhook it or unravel it. Again, that's my rationalization for this type of repair.